We are learning, Michelle, that they believe there are others because they've been spotted in another area in Blaine, also in Birch Bay. We expect to learn much more about that sometime tomorrow.
We live on the Murder Hornet Highway.
A nest of giant Asian hornets finally discovered on the Shelton family's 40-acre property in Blaine.
We were like, oh my gosh, it was really exciting and scary and like just crazy.
Josie and Max and their 5 kids have been keeping a close eye for the so-called murder hornets since one was found on their property back in September. The discovery weeks in the making. Entomologists using dental floss to attach electronic tags to a few trapped hornets that eventually led them back to the nest.
There's a big alder tree and there's a rotten section right in the middle where the bees could go in. It was hollow in the middle. They just went in and nested inside of the tree.
The nest was about the size of a basketball.
I took a step back and realized we were actually standing right under the nest. We had, in fact, tracked her straight back to where she came from.
The crew sealed off the tree with heavy plastic wrap and foam, then vacuumed more than 100 hornets right out of the tree.
The whole thing was just wild.
Native to Asia, murder hornets can be deadly to humans, killing up to 50 people every year in Japan. They're also a massive threat to honeybees.
Only a few Asian giant hornets can take out 30,000 healthy honeybees in just a matter of a few hours.
But hopefully now that won't happen on the Shelton family's property. After a weekend they'll likely never forget.
It's been really just interesting to be part of it and see what it's all about. It's just been cool.
They're pretty.
They're kind of fogging up in there, aren't they?
Well, yeah, because it's all nice.
Yeah.
It's the next to last weekend before Election Day.
All we're doing is, leaving literature on people's doors.
Emma Spickard may be the campaign manager for Liz Berry, who's running for the State House. She says the message on the postcards is a universal one.
The real intention is just to help you find your drop box, track your ballot, make sure that your vote is securely counted.
Campaign manager Olga Laskin is working for King County's Yes on Prop 1.
We've got about 30 yard signs left, so we've just got one final yard sign distribution push.
Whatever the issue, whoever the candidate, volunteers are putting in the extra effort across the region, posting signs, phone banking, text banking.
We've been gearing up for months to these last 3 weeks.
On this Saturday, King County elections authorities offered these highlights.
We're already close to about 47% turnout, and we've got, 11 days to go. We picked up 85,000 ballots just yesterday, Friday, from ballot drop boxes, which is just astonishing.
Ballot boxes like this one in Capitol Hill have seen a steady stream of voters return their ballots today. Matthew Sleet is just excited to do his civic duty.
Awesome. Feels like I'm contributing to the upcoming change that needs to happen.
For some, dropping off a ballot is so monumental, it's worth a photograph.
I have never been so excited to drop off my ballot.
I would encourage everyone to vote and help others get out the vote.
In Seattle, Suzanne Fawn, KOMO News.
Well, guys, this recent study covered hundreds of people across 38 states to determine whether hydroxychloroquine made any difference in fighting COVID-19. And when they ran these tests, they found out it doesn't really have any effect. Now, in fact, according to their study, Dr. Ruan Barnabas with UW Medicine says 15% of people got infected with COVID-19 even after these trials began. Now, the people they tested were folks that lived in a household or were in close contact with someone who tested positive for the virus. While there were no detrimental side effects to taking the medicine, hydroxychloroquine didn't make a difference in the fight against infection.
It would be fantastic if it did work because it is safe, it's widely available. We could imagine providing it to many people, but unfortunately, the evidence we have today suggests that it really doesn't work to prevent SARS-CoV-2.
Now, at the end of the study, they found that those that took the drug were just as likely to test positive for the virus as those who were taking the placebo. Now, Dr. Barnabas says they are also starting a new study now that this one has concluded. They're going to be looking at monoclonal antibodies that were found in the drug like Regeneron to see whether that has any effect towards fighting COVID-19. For now, live at home in Seattle, Nick Popham, KOMO News.
Yeah, Stephen, it's also worth noting that the mayor handed down that civil emergency proclamation saying that things could have taken a violent turn and that this group posed an imminent threat. As for police, they say that preparation was key, that before things even got started, officers found items such as rocks, bricks, and even propane tanks that had been stored away. It was downtown Bellevue Saturday night that saw nearly 100 protesters take to the streets, and hordes of officers following on almost all sides. Saying there was an imminent threat and not wanting to see looting or rioting, Mayor Lynn Robinson signing this proclamation of civil emergency, also handing down a weapons ban on things like rocks and bottles, that ban excluding firearms.
I didn't even know that there was even going to be any kind of protesting here. I thought it was a little intense to kind of go that far, but I don't really think it was necessary, no. At Bellevue Downtown Park, where that group originally gathered, we heard mixed reaction to the mayor's moves.
I think it was appropriate. At the time, there was some indication on the live stream that there might have been weapons.
And today, it's also where we heard from Police Chief Steve Milet, who says his department collaborated with Seattle police as some in that group came from across the lake. He says all indications pointed to them wanting to wreak havoc and that buckets of bricks and other items were found scattered around downtown.
One of the businesses here found propane tanks stuffed in the bushes. So all of this combined, plus their history in Seattle, that led us to believe that they were getting ready to launch an attack.
That intel, he says, allowed a coordinated response that in the end, he's touting as a success.
If you're coming here to destroy and to engage in criminal behavior, you're going to be held accountable, and that includes going to jail.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Johnson from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and all of Western Washington. And don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.